What is up, YouTube? What is up, YouTube? And what is up, YouTube? Today, as you can already tell by the title, I'm going to be giving a story time of how I had a stalker. Oh my gosh. This story is crazy, you guys. It's too much. Before I start this story, I really recommend for all the females out there, be careful who you talk to, who you hang around, all that type of stuff. Like, it's really hard out here being a female sometimes. But let's get straight into the video. I'm really trying to remember. I was in 9th grade and I happened to be in class with this boy. I happened to be in my science class with this boy that sat by me, and he was like more of a weird type guy. Like, he wasn't one of those popular guys. He was just more of the, he was just weird. He was one of those guys who liked, there's nothing wrong with anime, but he liked stuff like Pokemon and stuff like that. Like, he was a really weird kid, but he was really cool. I really messed with his energy, so I was like, okay. So time went by and we ended up meeting each other and we ended up becoming friends, but I had no intention of, I was just trying to be friends. No. He was really cool at first. We was chilling. I gave him all my answers. He gave me all his answers. We cheated off each other. We was real cool, laughing, hee hee ha ha. Until one day, it was around the end of the year, and what happened? He was like, oh, let me get your snap. So I gave him my snap. Mind you, this whole year I never gave him my snap. We hung out only in class. We never hung out outside of class. But I was like, he's my friend. I know him like that. So I gave him my snap. And I go home. I go home thinking everything's cool and dandy. And he's like, confessing his feelings and stuff like that. I'm not going to say exactly what he said, but he was basically confessing his feelings. And I was like, man, here we go. Here we go. You can't be a female and have regular guy friends. It's just, I'm officially convinced that it's just not possible, because every time I try to have guy friends, just regular, normal guy friends, it never works out. It never works out. So I'm like, here we go. I told him, I was like, okay, I don't really like you like that. No, you were really supposed to be a friend to me, da-da-da. And he said he understood, so I don't really know where this story started going downhill. But he said he understood, and it was cool still being friends. And I was like, okay. Boom. This is where it started going downhill. So, mind you guys, I told my mom about him. I'm like, Mom, it's this kid. I swear I can't have friends. I was talking to her that whole day. I'm like, I just can't have no friends. All the girls, they don't like me because I'm pretty, and all the guys, they just want to get with me. I can't get no friends. And she's like, girl, it's okay. You don't need friends, da da da. And I realized that. But, at the time, I just, I wanted some friends. But, so what happened? So, I'm still thinking that we cool, that, he understood. I'm like, okay, maybe I can have a little friend, So, school ends. It's the last day of school, da-da-da. We still chilling, because when he told me that, we were still in school. And it was at the end of the year, though. So it's the last day of school. We was chilling. He wasn't really doing nothing too, But he was giving me weird vibes now that I was thinking about it. He was giving me kind of awkward vibes. I was like, okay, so I kind of just distanced myself just a little bit. I mean, when he would talk to me and stuff, I would respond, but we weren't as close as we were, throughout the year. I go back home and I lay down, and then I post a picture on my Instagram, and he tries to DM, how you can go on your DM request, and he has hard eyes and stuff, and it gave me the creeps. For some reason, it was just I don't no, that's so mean, but it's like ever since he said that to me, it just wasn't the same. Like, I just didn't, no. So I said thank you the first time, and then he was like, oh, would you like to go out with me, da da da, like on some trying to make your move type thing. And I'm like, but I told you I don't mess with you like that. Like, we can be friends, but I do not mess with you like that. And then he just got real mad. Like, he was just like, man, if you didn't, you ain't all that, da da da. I'm like, okay, cool. Like, I don't know why you telling me this, but get it all out. You feel me? Cool, because I'm not responding to you anyways. So he's sending me he's sending me like books and books of like things of like why I'm so, like, I'm ugly, I'm selfish, I'm da da da, I think I'm all that, he'll do this, he'll do that. Like, I'm just sitting here like, I'm in shock, because I'm like, this is how you thought about me? Like, the whole time we was friends, this is how you thought about me? And you're this mad because, you know, I don't want to mess with you? Like, this is what we doing now? So basically, I just left him on red, and I was just like, I told my mom, and because, you know, when stuff like this goes down, sometimes you can't really keep it a secret, because if it creeps you out, you need to go to somebody. Tips to anybody if this happens to you. So I go to my mom, I show her the text messages. She didn't think nothing about it. She was like, you know, it's just, because my mom done been through stuff like this. So she was like, just block him, it's cool. So I block him, and then I start making like YouTube videos, and he goes under my YouTube videos on a fake page, and I figured it out later on. I'm like, it's just this one person that keeps commenting under my videos all this negative stuff. And I'm like I'm talking, y'all, every video I made, it was the same person just talking down on all my videos. And I'm like, dang, like, what? I can make the most simplest video ever, and he'll be like, just, I'm not gonna say what he said, but it's explicit. So I'm blocking, I ended up blocking that person off my YouTube and deleting all the comments and stuff like that, because who wants that type of negativity on their page, you know? So I'm like, no, you're not gonna get, no. So I delete it, and I go about my day. So mind you, this dude has a car. So I'm like, oh, this dude has a car. And I started noticing that I used to go jogging around my neighborhood. So I know what my neighborhood looks like. I know all the cars that are in my neighborhood. I know, because I used to go jogging around my neighborhood every day. So I started noticing like this random car coming in my neighborhood like every day. And I'm like, that's weird.
That's suspicious. That's weird.
You know what I'm saying? That's really weird. Like, why? Because the car would usually like come inside the neighborhood and just sit there for a minute and then leave. So I'm like, but the windows were tinted, so I didn't know who was inside. And then it was weird because they would wait until I would run back into the house, and then I would look out the window because I started noticing that, I'm like, why is that car sitting outside? And I would look out the window and the car would leave. I'm like, I just brushed it off. So a couple days later, the car comes back and is sitting in front of my house. I go outside. Well, I don't go outside. Okay, I don't go outside, but I look, and my sister goes outside, and she comes back in, she's like, oh, it's just your friend, he said you left something. I'm like, left something? What friend? What friend? You know, I just told y'all I don't got friends. So I go outside, I'm like, friend, and I look through the window, and it's him. I'm like, y'all, still to this day, I don't know how he got my address. Still till this day, I do not know how he got my address. I really don't. So I walk outside. I'm like, bro, like, why are you in front of my house? How did you get my address? He never answered my question. I'm like, bro, like, what are you doing? Why? Like, first of all, at this point, you interacting with my family members. I don't like that. You feel me? I don't even like you. So I completely blocked you from my life, and you are trying to re-enter my life, and you put up to my house without me even giving you my address. So, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, what are you doing? Asking these questions. He's like, no, you're mine. Best believe that you're mine. Saying all this stuff. You're not going nowhere. Da da da. And I'm like, whoa. You feel me? Like, do you know who you messing with? For real? Like, do you know my family? Do you know anything? Like, you don't even know me for real, bro. You don't even know me like that. You don't even know me like that. You feel me? I'm sitting over here going back and forth with him, like, don't you ever let it. I'm not gonna say it because explicit, but we going back and forth. So my stepdad comes out and he's like, what's going on? I'm like, I tell my stepdad what's going on, and he like, so he threatens him. And he looked a little shiver me quivers. You feel me? He was a little scared. So I was like, yeah. I'm sitting back like, yeah, don't come back. Handle my lightweight. We go back in the house. He leaves. He's like, yes sir. You know, I had to drop something. I was like, you ain't had to drop nothing off. You ain't had to drop nothing off. You had something to say. Tell him what you was telling me. You feel me? I'm going in. So he finally leaves, and I'm like, whew. From then on, well, we always keep our doors locked, but I was really paranoid after that. I was actually kind of scared because, you know, what if he comes back and da-da-da. I was actually getting kind of paranoid. I stopped going jogging for a little minute because I was really scared. Like, that was a really scary moment for me, even though, you know, I was putting on the front. Mama ain't raised no. Okay. But when I got inside, I was a little scared. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, bro, like, he really found my address, and I don't know how, and he could come back really. A couple weeks go by, and it's pretty cool. We don't really hear about him anymore. And then next thing you know, this page follows me, and, you know, I'm like, okay, whatever, just another follower. And he starts like commenting under my Instagram, like all these negative stuff, and at this point I already know who it is because he's doing the same thing. Change it up. You're doing the same thing. I already know who the you are, right? So I don't even text him back or none of that. Like, I don't even show him attention. I go straight to my stepdad, and I'm like, I show him, like, this is him. I know this is him. Like, this is what he did the last time. And I call my dad, and I'm like, I tell him everything that's going on. I'm like, oh. So my dad, he going crazy because he lives like an hour away, so he going crazy. Everybody going crazy. My mama going crazy. Everybody going crazy. So we go to the police, and the police is like, okay, if you see the car come in the neighborhood or anything like that, if you suspect anything, then call us, right? That night, he tried to come really late. I thought I was the only one that was up, I guess. I don't know. But he pulls up again, and he's just sitting outside. This time he's sitting in front of my house. And, like, I'm like, whoa, okay, he's back. And you never know what. He could have had a weapon on him. He could have had anything. So I didn't go outside. I told my stepdad, and I called my dad. And my dad was on the way. My stepdad was finna go outside. He was finna go and, you know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna, but, you know, he was finna go out there and tear it up, you know? My mom called him down, and so we could do it the smart way. We called the police, and the police came. We didn't even go outside, but the police came and got him. Long story short. And, I guess he went to, like, juvenile or whatever, or I don't know what they did with him really, They could have let him go. I don't really know, but they put like a restraining order on him, and it was just it went very, like, you know, deep into it after that. I'm not gonna say too much, but it went really, you know, had to do what we had to do after that. And ever since then, I haven't heard from him, like, at all. Like, I've actually had a really good life after that happened. So that was like one of the craziest moments, like, that has ever happened to me. Like, I've never had a stalker for real until then. And I was in the 9th grade. I was a freshman in high school. It was like, you know, I was just shocked. Like, I don't know. But females, be careful, please. Like, really be careful. If you ever go somewhere, don't go by yourself. Really don't recommend. Like, I was laughing during this, but it was actually a really sensitive and scary moment for me at the time. So really be careful with who you hang around, and be careful who your friends are. Be careful. Just be careful, because this world is crazy. That's really it for my story time. I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you want to see any more story times, subscribe and like.
Bye, have a great time.